Good evening, guys, here on a Sunday evening. Casper here. Again, we are looking into the uranium miners down under in the ASX, the Australia miners. We will see where we are in time. The past few weeks, even maybe 1 month, hasn't been, the best, not the worst either. It's just been a big nothing. So let's see where we are in time. Firstly, I have made my first video for the people that have been subscribing to this channel here. I want to give them something extra, and depending on how this plays out, I will do a lot more of this in the future. Right now, we are looking at 5 possible trades, investments. One of them has uh, a possible trigger this Monday. Again, I set the subscription to the lowest that I could do. It is not much. Again, if you want to support my work, you will definitely get more content with the better setups that I find across the board. That could be uranium, that could be gold, that could be whatever. Again, it's totally up to you. But now you know there will be 2, 3, 4 videos for the subscribers every week. Again, it's totally up to you. Check it out. You can find it on my page. But yeah, here we are, the beloved or hated Australian miners. Again, we have 9-2E. We will be looking at the weekly since we are at the weekly close here. Um, this is 9-2E Energy Limited, a $50 million market cap company. I want to point out, as you know, that breakout here, and now we're having the first pullback after the breakout. So nothing out of the ordinary. I will not go into much more, detail. This is the first bigger pullback after the breakout. The third weekly is coming out nicely. We are still a tad stretched here, so we could be going sideways for some time, hopefully, in a bull flag, and then we go higher. Again, we will have the retest at roughly 0.485. That will be the big retest on the log scale. And hopefully we will find some buyers here. Definitely we are in a stage 2 uptrend. There's no denying that. Um, so yeah, nothing to mention here really. The past few weeks we have gone from 0.6 down to 0.5 in the uranium market. Basically, that is just, daily business really. So yeah, I think this will be the first pullback after the major breakout, and then we should be going higher into some big resistance up here. And yeah, let's see what the week brings. I think this week is pretty. I do say this a lot actually, but this week, we do the 15-minute quick update on URNM, and we are at that big 51.5 level, which needs to hold. So definitely worth watching there. AEE, or Energy Limited, a $160 million company. Two things here. The only thing that I'm looking at is this formation here. Quite simply, you buy if it gets down here, or you buy the breakout. Really, until then, it's just sideways action. You don't do anything. A third touch here, you can buy with a stop below, obviously. But yeah, really, a whole lot of nothing for past 3 years. But again, to me, this is just a long sideways action, and then we would eventually go higher. So look for that 0.35 level, a breakout, or you could buy it there if you are going to buy that third touch on that trend line. Age, 2 down weeks here, was up to 0.084, and now we're down to 0.066. Again, in the uranium space, that is basically standard, right? We closed the gap here that was created. And what I'm seeing here is basically when we hit that green support with that 30 weekly, that's when we are going to have a good move higher. Obviously, losing that green support and the 30 weekly, that is a whole other story. But for now, we are in the stage 2 uptrend. And we have this mega red support that we need to take out. So yeah, let's see. We could be having some more downside here at max 10% before we should see a big bounce here. I do hope that we go more sideways into that, and then we go. I hate these, mega dumps there, and then it has to climb a lot of short term downward pressure. Bannerman, I mean, looking at it here long term, there's nothing wrong with this chart. Absolutely bullish across the board. Golden trend line taken out. This is a 20-year long trend line taken out right here. You could get a second buying opportunity if we get a massive retest here down to 2.8, 2.9. So yeah, really that is an entry point you could have. But what I'm finding interested is we have that rising wedge here. You can see it here ping-ponging from there to there to there. So this should point to a move higher into that rising wedge, and then we will see if it will break down or if it will be a massive blow off, later into 2026, 2027. So I do think we will touch this red here within the next year. And certainly 30 weekly coming up very sharply. We've just broken out of a 20-year long trend line. I mean, it's still beautiful. Nothing goes in a straight line. So nothing really out of the ordinary there. BOE, again, I sound like a goddamn broken record, but you know that we had the all-time high there at roughly 4. And basically, we had that breakout, insanely mega bull flag here and continuation. So the name of the game is buy the pullbacks. We are in a stage 2 uptrend. You buy the pullbacks until proven otherwise. You can see down here as well, when it started to turn up, you buy the pullbacks really. And then we had this mega sideways action. So this was the initial stage 2 incline. Then we went into the stage 3, and then we had stage 2 continuation. So yeah, strong uptrend for BOE on the weekly. So again, the weekly is in charge. I actually think it is the monthly that is in charge. Yeah, it is. You can see here on the monthly, adding the Bollinger Bands. We're just hugging, like we did here, we're hugging the outside, the upper limit of the Bollinger Band. And we're doing that again here, pierce, and then we go in. So this is the monthly Bollinger Band that is in control there. Beautiful, beautiful. Deep yellow, good old deep yellow. Golden trend line broken. You know this one here, that was also a 20-year long trend line that were broken. And we have now broken above the 2021 high. Retest, and then boom, and now we have stayed above for roughly 5 weeks. Beautiful. Confirming, basically breaking out, retesting, confirming that that level is now mega support. 30 weekly coming up nicely. Again, if you have a position, I wouldn't sell anything. I would just sit tight and relax. Right now we are again in the famous stage 2 uptrend really. I want to show you that move there. We came up above the 30 weekly, bull flagging continuation. That is the trigger for the stage 2 continuation uptrend here. And then that was the big retest of the long-term golden trend line. And now we're back above. So basically getting above all resistances in a nice uptrend. That's quite nice for Deep Yellow. That's actually a $1 billion market cap company. So we have massive resistance here at roughly 2. We have both the horizontal and we have this blue parallel channel that, will have a lot of resistance here. But when and if we break, it is my take that we have a lot of air, and we have, the next big resistance up here at roughly 7. So that is a huge air gap here. Elevate. I want to show it like this. 3 years worth of trading. This is the big one to look for, that green uptrend. Beautiful stuff. As long as we're above that, no worry you shouldn't have any worries. 30 weekly is also here. Again, we broke out of that bull flag right there, and now we're coming down a bit here for the past few weeks. But again, overall, that triangle breakout here usually leads to a tag of the triangle high. So that is the next point that we're going to. And as you can see, as long as we're above this green here, we will hit it at some point in time. So yeah, that's basically it. Again, here, this is the first pullback in the stage 2 uptrend. So again, same thing again across the board. I think the name of the game right now, overall stage 2 uptrend here. There will be some stocks that is definitely not in the stage 2 uptrend, which is a GUE, Global Uranium and enrichment. However, I think the chart is quite compelling here. It's lagging a lot compared to its peers, but we have this mega yellow downtrend here, which we tried to break out there, and this was a false breakdown, came all the way back in and again, and now we have retested, and for now it is holding, which also has created that blue triangle. And why is that important? Again, right now we have, the downtrend, sideways action. A break to the upside here would be massively bullish. Obviously, a breakdown there would be massively bearish. So this is basically what you're waiting for. If you don't have a position, in my view, just wait to see what happens here. And again, you can buy the break there. Ideally, we want to break out and getting above that 0.175 level, that previous high there. That would be ideal. So again, some constructive work here. We did have a massive wick here on the last week, which is nice to see. And hopefully we can start to climb higher here, having the 30 weekly coming up below. And then that is game on for the weekly chart anyways. PDM. Again, PDM looks absolutely stunningly beautiful. Double rail here taken out, as you can see, breaking out, getting above. I mean, the charts look roughly the same, a lot of them. 2021 high breakout, and we have now stayed above for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks above that, confirming that this right here, that previous mega resistance, is now a big support. And 30 weekly coming up nicely. We are in this yellow uptrend here, this parallel here. And yeah, nothing to do really, but same as here, you just sit tight. Yes, there will be pullbacks. But again, nothing goes in a straight line. So it could be just stepping higher here again for PDN. And yeah, in relation to the spot price, these miners has a long way to go. So yeah, that's beautiful. Pen here also a laggard stock compared to like Bannerman and Paladin Energy. But again, here overall, same thing as before. What's happening here is that we want to break this trend here to the upside. It will probably not happen this week. The only thing that is good, well, not the only thing, but one of the things that is good is actually that we are seeing a lot of volume coming in. That's usually, when volume comes in, that's usually end of trend signs, not confirmations, but definitely it helps. We have this gap here that we need to close. You can also see, I want to add it in here. We have a big resistance right here at the gap at roughly 0.145. So we have that gap that needs to be closed. But if we close that gap, that also means a breakout, really. I would be buying, if I were, I would be buying that retest, really, or the breakout, depending on how you want to do it, or split it into two. And you can have a stop, below that level there if that were to happen. Again, just patience. The trade will come to you, or the investment will come to you. Even though Peninsula here, their assets and management and so on, from what I've heard, is really, really good. But again, just wait for the chart to show you your entry. SLX here is into massive resistance, at roughly 4.8 to 5.4. Going back 25 years, this has been massive support and resistance. A bit of I would say a bit of a worry candle here on the weekly, but again, too early to say. That rising wedge there. Now possible double top scenario. We want to get above, that 5 point, let's call it 5.5, 5, maybe all the way up to 6 as quickly as possible. But I could see this actually, make some sort of cup and handle there. We're still a bit stretched from the third weekly. So if we can just stay here while this gathers strength, then that should be fine. Again, SLX has actually been one of the better performing assets during, the bad period from 2021, late 21 into 2023. It has actually gone up quite nicely. So that is worth mentioning. Lotus here, good old Lotus, golden trend line break here back in 2021. And then ever since we came up to here, big rounding bottom. And I think we will get to here, and that will be a break. So basically, like most of the others, as long as you for now is in this blue here, it's all fine. It is all fine. But I do think we will pick up steam when and if we get above that red. resistance. I do think that that will mean that we are going to increase this angle quite a lot. SXU, a new one that were suggested from some of the viewers here. I think this is a very small, well, 50 million, not small, but still not the biggest one. To me, look at it here, that nice yellow channel here, beautiful parallel channel as well. We have a breakout here, and we can go to the daily to see what's happening here. This is not confirmed yet. I think that high there will get confirmed if we get below here. But again, here, if this is some sort of ABC correction, I do think it could get picked up here at roughly 0.028. That is, 50% from now, so a long way to go. But definitely that would also mean that we are testing that big breakout that we have here. And I think that will be one to look for here. I wouldn't be a buyer here by any means. We have a massive trend here. It could be, bullish consolidation here would be fine, but again, wait for any confirmed signal here. Also, if you have a position, I wouldn't be selling at all. Getting back into this yellow channel here, however, wouldn't be ideal. So yeah, but this is overall bullish. Weekly, a bit overbought here, so that pullback, down towards the 0.03, it's not totally out of the question. UX here per uranium looks very intriguing here. Actually, I think this should be some sort of double, yep, some sort of double band there. You can see here on the weekly, breaking out, retesting that golden band right there. Again, the 30 weekly is flat, so we are not in an uptrend yet, but this could be, the stage 2 breakout attempt, retesting, and then the confirmation, the big one here. So if this gets back above that breakout high, that is also when the 30 weekly will start to go higher. Very strong, there's a lot of way to go, to be honest. And from my good friend from Triangle Investor on Twitter and also on YouTube, this management is one of the better managements out there. Again, don't quote me on this. You have to check out with Triangle Investor. So here we have the overall, our homemade ETF. Nothing new, nothing bad happening. Again, I want to same thing as last time, lower lows and lower highs. And that trend has changed. So again, I do think that we're going to up to that region once again here. 30 weekly, again, coming up nicely. So the weekly here is if you're new to this, use the weekly, the 30 weekly moving average, and you can identify the trend here. That is the stage 2 breakout, and that was the buy right there of that triangle. Again, you can find these very, I wouldn't say easily, but once you have looked at a lot of charts, this can easily keep you out of the pain. And again, if you see some big pullbacks, you can also see, are we still in the stage 2 uptrend? Has there been any bigger damage done to the chart? And looking at this, no, this is still beautiful. Higher highs and higher lows, and we should get up to the highs over here within a few months, really, if the overall markets lets us. That trend is very much intact. The miners against the commodity uranium spot price. Looking at it here, you could see here a false breakout again. Excuse me, again here. We had one here as well. So let's see what's happening here. We are getting rejected quite heavily. So still overall, we are underperforming the uranium spot price, and we are below the 30 weekly and still coming down. So again, nothing, when measured against the uranium spot price, the miners are heavily underperforming. You can see that as a good thing or a bad thing. Obviously, we want the miners to outperform. And that is, I wouldn't say worrisome, but again, why will they not outperform? We don't know. But also on the bright side, again, when and if they start to outperform, we have a long way to go until we reach that 2021 high. As you mentioned, as you saw here, a lot of the miners are just, consolidating above that 2021 high. Measured against the uranium spot price, we are actually 70% below the 2021 high. So massive divergence. Which one is right? Is it the spot price or is it the miners? We will see. I have my conviction that the miners will catch up at some point here very closely. So yeah, again, this is the homemade ETF, so it shouldn't be taken, with that much value. Let's say it's just an overall indicating of where we are. So yeah, that's it, guys. Nothing new, nothing exciting to say here, other than that uranium URNM is, as I'm pointing out, is at a very interesting point in time. That's why I do these 15-minute time frame daily analysis as we speak. Go check them out. I've done 3 or 4 the past week, just to keep myself and the audience up to date on that part. And yeah, definitely check out if you want to subscribe. There will be a lot more value for those that want to support my work. So guys, have a great week and enjoy the rest of the Sunday in Australia. I know you are many hours behind. It's roughly 10 p.m. here, so I think you are still, having a lot of your Sunday left. So guys, have a great one. Bye.